Don't forget to like and subscribe.
It's Countryman again. Just I lick you with some wisdom, and I lick you with some knowledge. You gotta take inside your brain. It says, son, I've learned a lot out of reading people faces. No matter how them are going, like them original, them fake. You gotta know when to walk and know when to run and know when to fall and know when to stand.
Viewers' discretion is advised. One more time. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Light. Further compounding the issue, she says was the alleged unfair treatment she and her brother received at a court hearing on Monday.
They attended court today and they said that there would be a type of hearing where 9 judges had to come together and state about the case. I don't know. But today, none of the lawyers at the case had their facts together. Everybody came in and had no homework. They all gave an excuse. And I believe that if the lawyers is not doing their work, then why do you all think that you all need better from us? You all need to do better.
She issued a heartfelt appeal to departmental authorities, urging them to secure the release of her brother along with other young detainees.
I demand to y'all that you'll release every first-time offender, from the Mediocre Correctional facility, because this is not a place that young people should be in. The boys are being fed one bread a day with some kind of juice I know nothing about. I saw my brother there today and I cried. Sorry, but I cried. The boy was pale. The boy lips was peeling. The boy looking sick. That is not my brother. You're killing my brother inside of there. All right? The boy mental capacity is fading away because the mind needs certain minerals so that it can work properly, and you're dilapidating the boy's mind. This is not right. So I'm making a demand that if you all do not address your matters, if you're not treating these young boys like human beings, okay, they're sleeping with cockroaches. The boys have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to full water so that they can flush out toilets and have a bath. And if they don't do that, they're sleeping in the same the same mess that is waste that is coming out of them. They have to be sleeping in it. This is not right. They are not animals. They're not horses in a pen. This is human beings.
Good day, my wonderful friends. It's me again, the great, one more great countryman. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and click on another video. Now, certain issue has been bothering me about borderless prison, or borderly, or wait one name. Me call it Gotham. Me give it another name. Editor boss not like the name. But before the video finish, we are gonna come up with a new name for that prison there. But there's lots of things going in that prison that I want to talk about and address. I'm gonna use this video to do that. Also, I am gonna talk about the Telly Tubby and the powder puff girls them. Okay? So let's go. From last year to the middle of this year, I've been talking about this issue. And God decided to debunk it. Like I'm emphasizing, I've been talking about this issue from last year to the middle of this year, and God decided to debunk me. But here we have a young decide to debunk him. So let's go. Not too long ago, there's a young man named Q who has been in custody for 15 years on remand. He passed away from sickness and mental health. Now there's another person named Siobhan Ramsey. He he was in Harkam, and he came out with mental health, mental illness. Now, people, this seems to be a pattern with Harkam Correctional Facility. Now, I read in an article recently that $3 million were won by inmates who are mentally ill from doing time in this prison. I also spoke about the water issue in this prison, and this young lady clarified it for me. Beautiful people, what I'm saying is Borderley Arkham has become a torture chamber. Now, I have to break it down. When I say torture chamber, I use that term many times. But in an Arkham, it's a little bit more different and more vile and dangerous. What you have is the guard them who's supposed to protect the prisoner them is setting up the prisoner them with other prisoner, taking money and making other prisoners get to other prisoner who them have issues with. And that is just one of the minor torture chamber connotation we give to this crazy place. Now, to keep you guys and gals up to date, next time I will be calling names of the guards them who participate in this kind of nefarious bottom feeder behavior. I'm gonna move it along, but before I move it along, now these prison guards be keeping these guys in wet clothes for 3-4 days, locked up. I want to picture this in a dark, rodent infested cell. That's against human rights. Now, we are gonna move along. But before I move along, now you have a young man locked up in Harkam prison, Borderley, for about 5 years for a crime he didn't commit. And that young man goes by the name of Savage. And Savage is from another island. Now, I know this is not Borderley Arkham issue. It's a police and a Green Goblin issue. So, in the near future, I am definitely going to bring this young man case up to the forefront because I want to know how come you have a person who's been locked up for a crime he didn't commit. He wasn't even there. And my intel tell me this, and I believe, because I'm not going to say what my intel is, but just know say him no government. So we need to dig deeper into this young man, Savage. He is in Borderley, and I have never talked to him, but I have been hearing about this young man case for over a year. And today is the first time I even mention it. So look out for me talking about that. With that said, we have a refugee crisis, don't we? We have a refugee crisis. Let's talk about that. Take a look at your screen. Look at that picture right there. That bang him Smurf, but me I go call him Smurfette. Read what it says. He's at a refugee hotel in London, England, in the UK. And the person went on to say, taxpayers are paying for it. What you guys think about that? I can tell you what I think. It is a bunch of bullshit. These guys are not getting no refugee status. And I'm going to explain why. Firstly, most of these asylum seekers are bottom feeders, violent producers, and they will not be getting any green card from the UK or Uncle Sam anytime soon. Because, beautiful people, they are the ones who started the problem and now they run away. If you do not belong to the flamboyant community, your application will not be processed in a hurry. If you're running from violence or a gang, your application will not be processed in a hurry. If the government requests your application or put in your application will be processed in a hurry. So if you working for the government, your application will be processed in a hurry.
I'm diving deep into the deadly gang wars gripping Trinidad and Tobago. The island paradise is now a battleground. Let's unravel the intense conflict between the notorious 6 and 7 gangs and how it's tearing communities apart. So picture this, it's December 30th, 2024, and the government declares a state of emergency. Why? Because gang violence has
I would never be blessed. Let me tell you why.
My God, who do we have here? Mojo, Jojo, and the Powerpuff Girls. When they're not in St. Lucia terrorizing poor people, they're out there in Trinidad raising the gang crime rate. If you ever see them in your country, call the police. They are bottom feeder violence producers. Now you have the super Telly Tubby. We have Batty Crow, BATTYCROW. You understand? Batty Crow. And then we have Dylan. Woof. Woof. The watchdog, them finally take him out of the yard. Now people, this is serious. If you see these guys in your country or in your community, call the police or the nearest immigration. Listen, this is the Great Countryman.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.